If somebody like just clearly doesn't understand what they're responsible for, how can you get mad at them, right? But like if they just don't want to do it, well, like, cool, dude, like, what are you doing here? One of my big things is like, one of my business coaches talks about like GWC, right? So it's like, do you get it? Do you want to do it? And do you have the capacity to do it? So it's like, do you fundamentally understand the job? Like, do you get what you're supposed to be doing? Okay, cool. We're on the same page. You need to do X, Y, and Z, whatever. Do you want to do it? Like, do you get enjoyment out of this? Like, do you want to do this? Because that's a different conversation, right? If somebody like just clearly doesn't understand what they're responsible for, how can you get mad at them, right?
Sure.
But like, if they just don't want to do it, well, like, cool, dude, like, what are you doing here?
Yeah, for both of our sakes.
200,000 remote jobs on Indeed right now. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, right? And then the last one is just like, do you have the capacity to do it, right? So it's like, if I'm expecting, just for whatever example, 100 phone calls a day, but like realistically, you can only do 50 and you can show that the capacity is only 50, well, cool. That's not a you problem, that's a goal problem. You know what I mean? So it's like those three things are pretty easy to narrow it back to like, okay, are you a good fit for this role or not?
Right.
And then the idea of multipliers is like, don't beat somebody up. You know what I mean? Like help them discover one, the problem themselves, but the solution themselves. So it's like very like question based, right? It's like, hey, Rick, when you're on the phone with the seller, like, why do you think they don't sell their house with you? Instead of being like, you're bad at this. And it's like, oh, you know, that hopefully that person's like, oh, I think I could work on this more.
Right.
Okay, cool. Like, what does that look like? Like, can we role play this or whatever it is, right? And it's like, if we really can't figure it out together, then maybe you're just not a good fit for it, you know? So I don't know. Awkward conversations are hard. Hard things are hard. It's just part of the game, you know?
And I think you just highlighted a really important part of leadership, though, where it's like you're seeking the best for that person, right, and helping them think different. So many times we just struggle to think outside of our grind, and so the best question you could ask is like, "Hey, do you enjoy this? Like, do you want to do this?" And then giving them the opportunity, so maybe they do, and you as their leader, then as their coach, as their boss, helping them figure out, hey, okay, you're at 50. Well, how can we get to 100? Or do we need to adjust the goal because you're XYZ, but you're having a conversation, they're owning it. That's huge.